Hello, we're back again. Today we're at rainy Salford for the final game of the season. Alex, how are you feeling?
Wet,
Yeah.
want food, but apart from that, yeah, I'm good. I'm actually excited for today. I think I've been saying it the last couple of days to everyone. I've got a lot of friends at sport clubs that are in with chance to playoffs in the various leagues, and I feel like I'm the calmest out of all of us. We've got nothing to play for, and I do genuinely believe that we'll have half decent performance today.
Yeah, it just feels like it's going to be a bit of a laugh, really. Final game, nothing to play for, and the chance to knock Salford out of the playoffs. You know, I think it was obvious from Neil's comments after last week's game that we want to go out on a high, and it would be nice to obviously finish off with that away win we've been searching for.
We've been waiting a while. Obviously, Bradford it felt kind of like a win given how late it was, but we need those 3 points in an away fixture going into next season, because we can't perform like that away if we want to meet the club's expectations. But we've got a decent following for a 12:30 kickoff on a Monday. It is a bank holiday, but it's like 900 odd come in. Expected to be over 1,000 with people coming up and buying on the day. So
yeah, definitely a very good following, like I say, bank holiday, but still very early kickoff and an early start for those who live down in Gillingham. So obviously,
I like it.
well done if you've travelled up at silly o'clock to be here.
Yeah, if it makes them feeling better, I rolled out of bed about 9 o'clock. So take from that what you will. But it should be a good day. So I'm hoping for the 3 points, obviously. Given that it's local for me, I do want us to beat us. I've got bragging rights over some of the people that obviously live around me. But regardless of result, I'm happy that we're still going to be in League Two next season. At the end of the day, it's a nothing game, and I kind of want the season done with now, so we can roll on to next.
Focus on the higher expectations.
Yeah, and obviously with my many travels back down south because of the crazy thing I've done in buying a season ticket. So fingers crossed.
I mean, lineup, we're not really expecting any changes, I guess, again, off the back of Neil's comments last.
Tim Dieng on the bench. That's all I'm asking for today.
I can't see it happening. Obviously, we kind of got a glimpse at it last week, despite the result. He did make that change a little bit earlier for us. I know it's hard to say before the game. We can't really see how the setup is looking, but going into it, are you hoping for a couple of early changes again this week?
I think he changed it from the off today, to be honest.
Okay.
I think Hawkins starts. We're away from home, which may entice him to go how we went to Bradford, but I think when Hawkins came on, we did look a different team. Okay. I genuinely believe that he can see that teams have not figured out how we was playing against Bradford, but they they've wised up to it. They know what to expect at the moment. So I think that element of surprise is kind of what got us through against Bradford. So to do it again here would be the right thing. But he's the one that's paid all this money to make the choices. So who are we to question?
I personally can't see him changing it from the off. I reckon that 11 stays as the 11 it has been for the past few weeks.
I'd like to see Jaden start today.
It would be nice. It would be nice to see those players we've seen a couple of minutes from prove what they're like from the off, in a starting 11 side. Just quickly, what's your score prediction for today then?
2-1 Salford.
Oh, really?
I'm ever the pessimist, so 2-1 Salford, and I hope to be pleasantly surprised.
I'm going to go for a 1-0 Gills win. Tom Nichols header.
That makes some fans happy,
and the big question is, we're about to grab some scran. Is this burger going to sneak in as burger?
You know what? I've heard a lot about these burgers.
Oh, really?
I've seen a lot from obviously documentaries on this, whatever club you want to call it. I'm going to say great club, but probably not the right terms to use.
Franchise club.
Tin Pot Club, whatever you want to say. I've seen a lot on these burgers, and apparently they are to die for. Babs has got a name around these leagues, around the non-leagues. So we'll soon find out. And if it's shit, then we're going to be disappointed. But if it does win Burger of the Season, we will update the award.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll let you know at half time.
Perfect. See you at half time.
See you then.
Right then, 0-0, half time. Thoughts?
You know what? Neither team have impressed me that much. I think towards the back end of the first half, obviously, we had a couple of chances, which I think Hawkins probably should have put away. Nichols had a big opportunity, which, denied at close range. I think we've looked a little bit tentative at the back in regards to passing the ball around, It seems we're very, very quick to just hit it away, hit it to the stands, Don't want to give them even a little bit of a sniff. I think Jake, for me, has done really well. He's come in, he's made a couple of good saves. That great reflex save, send it over for the corner. I was a big fan of that one. But yeah, like I say, neither team really impressed me. I don't think we've got off the mark, and I don't think Salford have shown just exactly what they're capable of either.
No, I think you're being fair on Hawkins there, saying he should have scored. They are 100% he should have scored. If not one, the other. They're both, and everyone's going to say it's because of Rob McKenzie. They're both beautiful balls in. That as a striker, you dream of those all day long. You go into the game, you're like, just one of them chances. That's all you need normally. And I think it just shows you that he's not really a striker. You know,
Yeah.
he's not a finisher. He's a big man. He gets his head on things, and to be honest, I think he's probably a better centre half than he is a striker. But what are you going to do? I think if you got Nichols in there for maybe not the headed one, but the one where he's got his foot on it and then they've ended up with a free kick, probably goes in because Nichols is more of a striker. I think, I don't want to say Salford have looked good. They've looked the better team. I think we've made them look the better team, if that makes sense. Louis Barry, as much as we've given him a lot of stick, he has looked quite threatening.
Yeah.
All he needs is one of those chances, you know what I mean, to fall. I think Mackenzie's done a good job on him, but he's getting in there, he's getting in behind. And, you know, if we say about Hawkins, if Matt Smith could put the ball in the back of net, they'll be 3-0 up easily. So, but we did this last time against Salford at home. Said it halfway through the first half. It's the only Gills game I've ever left early because we came out in the second half and we just looked like we didn't want to be there. I mean, Lapsley's looks lost as well. I think him out on the right just doesn't work. He just doesn't seem to know what he needs to do. He's had a few moments in defence where he's, you know, saved us, but apart from that, he's been woeful, to be honest.
We both said it in the first half. He's definitely more of a central player than one of those wide players. Do you think, obviously we said earlier, we didn't think too much would change with the lineup and the formation. Do you think with the changes, it's working at this point, could you say?
I think the changes were right in terms of shape of formation. I think the personnel's wrong. I think if you're going to play sort of a diamond with two centre mids that are playing wide, Jeffrey knows that job on the left. Maka needs to be the one on the right, not Lapsley. Maka, honestly, I think if Maka's on the pitch, we're winning this game. He's that type of player. And no one can deliver a ball better than him. You know what I mean? And I think there's a lot of threat there where there's that little pocket of space where Lapsley's got on the ball and he hasn't got that in his head where it's out of his feet and in, whereas Maka does. And I would like to see him come on at half time for Lapsley.
We are playing, I kind of picked up on it, I don't know if you picked up on the same. There's a lot of hoofball, which I know a lot of Gills fans will have a couple of complaints with, I think is a nice way to put it. I know a few of our fans aren't a big fan of that kind of Harris tactic. But I don't feel like Salford is one of those teams that, you know, we can outpass on the pitch.
It's League Two football, so you're never going to get... If our players could go out there and play tiki-taka football, they wouldn't be playing for Gillingham. They'd be playing in the Premier League. You can't come away to a team like Salford going for playoffs, regardless of what you want to say about them. They're clearly a good side. They're in the playoff places for a reason. I have no doubt they're going to secure that playoff place today. I think it's in their hands. They just have to avoid defeat. I don't even think they need that. They just need to better the results of the two teams below them, which I think at the moment they are doing without checking the scores. But the Salford team, as much as we say they've not looked at it, I mean, if you look at their pass and their possession, their movement, you can see they're a well-drilled team that's together. And our personnel can't do that. We haven't got the players on the pitch to do that. Coleman's good, but he's no Williams. Williams dictates the tempo for our team a lot. Coleman doesn't do that. And if you look at the kind of players we've got, so we've got Hawkins up front, Nichols around him, Clark, Lapsley. They're players that want to be getting in and around Hawkins. That's the way, up until the end of the season, we're going to be playing. And the rest of this game, we're going to be playing. And I have no doubt at the start of next season, we're going to start playing that. Unless we bring in, you know, if you look at they've got Smith, but you look at the players around Smith, Louis Barry, Hendry, they're players that like the ball at their feet. They're two midfielders, players that like the ball at their feet. Look at the dual side. Who likes the ball at their feet on that side?
I said to you probably about 35 minutes in, this felt like a very long half of football. You said to me, it's because nothing's happened. And
it did spark into life.
I feel like after that, the last 10 minutes, you know, there's a couple of more chances. But other than that, we didn't really see too much. And again, it's not to say either team were bad, I don't think. It's just...
I'll be honest, I think the game needs not even a goal, a chance. A Gillingham chance. Salford's fan base, and they can slate me for this, fucking dreadful today. I've
Yeah,
heard
no
one
noise.
chant out of them that's from over that side over there, and it was
Salford.
Salford, like twice. It's been all the Jules boys, as we always do, making all the noise. But again, towards the end of the half, we went a bit flat. So we need a chance, and I think shooting into us second half, we could have that effect. It's almost like we can make this like a home game for us, because it's almost like they're not here, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think you've said it before. When we shoot in front of the Rainer men, sometimes the
ball
Rainer
just
men
gets sucked
in, and hopefully we can do a similar thing in this half. I know you said
Tommy Nichols header. That's all we need.
Get everyone's bets
I think half the fan base needs that at this point.
So you said you wanted Maka to come on for Lapsy. Are there any other changes? We've got a couple of the other youngsters on the bench today. Do you think it's important for them to come on and get minutes, or would you like to see out the season with a win?
I think, look, as a player that's been in an academy and got to the end of the season where teams have secured playoffs, secured their future, you look at these games and think, oh, that's my chance. That's my chance. And you know, I feel for the lads. I really do feel for them. But they can't just get minutes because they need minutes. We need an away win. No, I don't think they should get minutes just because they're young and on the bench. It'd be nice for maybe Chambers to get on.
Yeah.
But I'm not here for sentiment, you know, and
want the 3 points.
You see it a million times over and over where teams have secured their fate, they give a youngster a chance and he makes a mistake and it goes downhill from there. We want to avoid that. We want to keep him in and around the team. I'm glad Clark got his chance from the start. I think he's looked okay, but he's playing off scraps. So again, I think the only change the game needs is Maka.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be against anyone else coming on. What about you?
Yeah, I think the main one, like you say, is Maka, and I said it to you a couple of weeks ago. We score goals when he's on the pitch, and I reckon that will reign true in the second half if he comes on. That's not to say we don't feed good balls into the box without him. I just think he's got that little spark that I think that we need. You know, that little extra 10% that he gives on the pitch.
I said it on the ME7 podcast. Shout out to them guys, by the way. When we were talking about players coming out of contract and the fact that Maka hadn't signed his and the reasons around that, we can all speculate. A lot of it is apparently due to the length of the contract. And I said I'd give him 2 years.
Yeah.
Because a player like Maka, he might lose his legs, but he just offers you something different.
Yeah.
You know, you'd never lose your ability to play that ball. You never lose the ability to put the ball in. And it's something that, I'm not saying the other players don't have it, they just don't have it as good as him. I think I've said it in a number of my articles. Shout out, read those. Just plugging everything here, by the way. He has the passing range and ability of players at the very top.
Yeah.
You know, Premier League players, not many can touch a scratch on Maka with his deliveries. And maybe it is just to rest him, but he needs to come on. He needs to come on. Because Hawkins will score 1 out of 9 chances, and Maka created 9 chances in 1 half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you said a 2-1 Salford win at the start. We know in the last video, in the last match you did, we had to VAR check your.
Well, we did have to VAR check it, and it was wrong.
But you're still sticking with a 2-1 Salford win.
Yeah, I am actually. I see them coming out early, scoring, us then getting up for it, and them pushing through. I think it's going to come down to them needing a win, and the fans will know that, and they'll actually turn up.
The noise, yeah.
But then again, there's a difference between our fan base and theirs, and theirs hasn't been here for however many years. You know what I mean? So we'll see. No Gary Neville at the game either. He's absolutely bottled it against the Gills. Nicky Butts here though, and Millie Turner, and that's another thing. It is nice that Jake's got his start.
Yeah.
And especially, you know, second game she's come to watch, she's actually starting this time.
What a champ.
So, and he has played well. You made the reference to his save. He's made a couple, the one from the free kick, and he's looked fairly solid. There was one little mishap with Marston at the back, but apart from that, I don't think you can criticise too much. It's just
needs something more.
A bit boring,
really.
I'll be honest. A bit boring.
We're just missing that, and I think Salford are missing it as well. Just that spark that excites people.
The game almost needs to come into life.
Yeah, I'm sticking with a 1-0 Gills win.
1-0 Gills.
Also, just quickly, the burger. It was
this is the most important part. I mean, I know my take on it.
You know what? After I ate about half of it, I can get on board with your take. It was a very good burger.
For me, as good as Warsaw was, that takes it. Burger of the season. Babs' Burgers. Shout out Babs.
Yeah, if
You
you're
saw
ever in
her as well,
Salford,
the legend.
get a
Babs'
burger.
Burgers. That clap scene sounds like the Jills are coming back
That's
out.
the noise.
So
We'll see it
we'll
full
wrap it
time.
there, see it full time.
We finally won away 1-0, a penalty.
I don't know what to do with myself.
Honestly, I'm filled with adrenaline right now. I was filled with adrenaline as soon as we got given the penalty. I was climbing up the bloody railing. Oh,
Yeah, you just sort of disappeared. I looked to my right, I was like, where's she gone? Oh, she's up there.
honestly, I don't think there are any words that kind of sum it up right now, because we have been chasing that away win since, as we looked, February, when we last won away against Rochdale. It was a long time coming. Was it deserved? We could argue it. Go on, what are your full-time thoughts?
I don't want to say we deserved it, to be honest. I don't think either team deserved to win, to be honest. But I'm glad we did. I'll have to watch it back a few more times, but I don't think it was a penalty. My first reaction was, it's never a penalty. I think we both looked at each other and went, it's never a penalty.
Yeah.
One, it's a little bit close to the edge of the box. Two, the lad gets the ball, but watching it back, he starts his lunge from probably I can actually do this, can't we? We're like this far away from Lewis Page, I think it is. So he's lunging in, he's jumping in. You can see what the ref gave it. And I think, to be fair, she actually had quite a good game.
Yeah.
All round. I think there was a few where she maybe bottled it.
Yeah, well, I think there are a couple she gave it the wrong way.
It was League Two standard refereeing, but it was actually, for League Two, it was quite a good standard. But I don't know what to do with myself right now.
Yeah, honestly, this never happens to us Gills fans. We don't win away. So mainly I'm just buzzing about that. Obviously, the season's now come to an end, and like I said, I just don't know what to do with myself. The season's over, and it's been such an up and down season. But I'm so happy we've ended it on this high.
Yeah, definitely. As we said before the game, we need to get that away win, that monkey off the back. We've finally done it, and it doesn't matter how it happens. It's happened. I haven't got much criticism of the Jill side today. I think you could kind of tell that the season was kind of over for us, and they were there to do a job. It wasn't really the starting 11 as such, but you know what? I'm actually going to give Hawkins some credit, right?
Oh,
when
really?
he went centre half, he played a blinder.
Yeah.
He kept us in that game at the end, and he did play really well. I wouldn't have him there the full game, but last couple of minutes, I think he did what he needed to do. He won pretty much every header, which how often can we say that when he's playing up front? He did everything he needed to do, but up front, and I don't want to badmouth him because he's a Jules player and I love him. But he's fucking woeful. He couldn't score in a brothel, right? Honestly, I always miss that header. It's harder to miss than it is to score that. And he just sort of lets the ball, as if he's doing an offensive header, just lets it hit his head and go wherever. There's no direction. He's not heading it down. He's got to score today, 100%. And I think I say that most weeks about him. He's got to score. I don't really see what he brings to this attack. I think we looked a lot better when he wasn't involved in that front.
If we I guess go back to the start of the second half, right? If we reflect on it in kind of a chronological order, from the start, like I said to you, we came out the blocks sharper. We looked the more likely team to score, which I feel like slightly followed on from the back end of the first half, right? And then all of a sudden there was this shift in momentum, and we were on the back foot. And I thought,
you know what? Credit to Harris today.
Yeah.
When that shift happened, although one of the changes was enforced, Mackenzie getting injured, I don't exactly know what he did, but he went out for a header. I think he came down and twisted his ankle or something, and you could see he weren't right. So Shea was enforced, but making that change for Maka, it shifted that momentum back. He actually did something right for a change of this.
Yeah, and I even said at half time, I don't think we can outpass Salford.
Nah.
And I feel like that rang true in the second half, but I feel like there wasn't as much of that hoofball that we saw in the first 45 as such.
No, it was direct, but it wasn't as much as just hit it and hope. There was actually purpose to the passes.
Yeah.
Like Tom Nichols had a chance.
Mhm.
That was in our period of dominance as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where Coleman sort of picked up the ball, pinged it over, and it's a great touch, and he's beat his man. And we've all done it. He's taken that touch one too far. He's stretching for it, and it's gone over the bar. Another day, I think he probably scores it. But there was more to our game rather than just hope it is the big man and see what happens.
Yeah.
I think that rattled Salford, to be
Yeah.
honest. I, I'm going to be honest here. From a Salford point of view, that was embarrassing today.
Yeah.
That was absolutely
I feel like
embarrassing.
for them, that's a tough one to go into the playoffs in. Obviously, we stayed right to the end. Salford confirmed their playoff position with Mansfield only getting the 2 goals today. I feel like that's a tough result to go into the playoffs because, like you said, I don't think either team deserved to win that. I don't think either team was the better side on the day. We obviously just got lucky with the penalty, I think, and took our chance because I think the penalty even was for the most part against the run of play.
Yeah, I'd
Um,
agree.
so I think for them that's going to be a sticky one to carry with them.
Yeah, I just think all around today it was embarrassing. So the performance on the pitch, I don't think they were good enough for a side that's in the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs, and it was in their hands. You know, they've lost today and still got into the playoffs. The performance against the team that, don't get me wrong, we've been better since the turn of the year, but we've still not won away since February.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we have been better, but we've not won away since February. That for us is one embarrassing, and two for Salford to be the first team we beat when they're going into playoffs.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing for them, 100%. And look, I might get slated for this, but their fan base today was shocking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their team's got a chance of going into playoffs. They weren't confirmed at the end. If they were confirmed at the end of the game, I'd understand it. But they were still waiting for the Mansfield results to come in. And after the stadium's empty,
Yeah.
straight away, even before the final whistle, half the stadium was empty. And then they get it confirmed, and there was no real celebration. Imagine if Gills got
yeah.
playoffs in the last minute.
I feel like there was no noise from them really today either, and I think we said that at halftime as well. And I said to you, it's in livelier atmospheres at a funeral, like.
It was it
Um,
was a really weird atmosphere to
I
be in.
I feel like we, the Gills fans, obviously 750 odd of us there today, we carried the noise in that stadium today.
Yeah.
And obviously it's not a very big stadium; it's essentially just a shed in a field, isn't it? But
Something like that.
it's not hard to make a bit of noise seem like a lot of noise in there. So the fact that the 3,000 odds, however many the fans there were, didn't really hear a peep out of them all game, like you say, is kind of embarrassing on their front.
I think a couple of them had a bit of back and forth with some of our
Yeah.
fans, but other than that, there wasn't really much out of them. There was a bit of a cheer when they confirmed playoffs. I think we went a bit flat. We started the second half and we was in full swing, and then it went a bit flat until the goal. But maybe we're a bit spoiled as Gills fans because our atmosphere, as much as people want to knock it, it is fantastic. But I think from a player's point of view with Salford, you know, a win confirms that. You don't have to worry about other results. You know, they were sat there. Mansfield went into the 99th minute. They were sat there for 5 minutes on the pitch waiting to hear that result. As players, you want your fans behind you. Let's confirm. Let's get a win. Let's go into the playoffs and win. And I haven't seen how the table's lined up. I'm pretty sure they're going to be playing Stockport.
Yeah.
Who finished just outside automatics. And I don't see Stockport's atmosphere is fantastic. I don't see past them winning. That's the difference. They say fans won't make much of a difference, but they do, especially in situations like that. So I can't put my finger on it today with Salford.
Yeah, part of me thinks that maybe the noise that we as Gills fans made today gave us that win ultimately. You know, like I said, I feel like the penalty was a bit against the run of play ever so slightly. And I thought that in that second half, Salford probably did look more likely to score than we did. And that's not to say they really tested Jake Turner too much. He made a cracking save in that second half again.
Yeah, Matt Smith.
You know, I think he did. Credit to him, keep us in it a little bit.
I think he looked a little bit ropey. You could tell he hadn't played a 90 minutes in a while, but he did everything he needed to do.
Yeah, exactly. Kept on his toes and alert.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the Gills fans essentially in a way won that penalty for us. You know, every time there was a little bit of action down, obviously shooting towards the Gills fan this half, there was noise and there was a lot of it as well.
There's a bit there that they had a couple of shouts for a penalty, right? And you didn't really hear much. You heard like the shout, but it wasn't that loud. Whereas the difference between us and them, you know, it shouldn't impact the ref, but it does. It does. It's just human at the end of the day. It's going to. And the minute you hear, and it was everyone in unison shouting for that penalty, it was. And then Salford ones, what, like a select bunch of fans shouting for it.
Yeah.
It was odd. And I think, as you say, we definitely played our part today. The one thing I do want to point out, now that I've kind of sat on it and walked back from the stadium, with Maka at the end and Harris getting him to do the so to speak. Is that goodbye?
You know, I was thinking the same thing. It was making me a bit shaky.
Look, Maka, I doubt you're going to say this, but if you do, just sign a contract.
Please.
Please.
I will give you the money myself.
I won't.
I will.
I don't have that kind of money.
I'll sell my car. I'll sell my
nice
house.
car, by the way.
Thank you.
maybe block out your number in the video.
Honestly, but yeah, like you say, that was a bit sweet.
It felt
because
a bit like a goodbye. I'm going to be honest. I really hope it's not. I know that he obviously got offered a contract and it maybe wasn't the terms that he wanted. There's a lot of speculation. Ultimately, no one knows apart from the club and Maka. But from my point of view, just give him what he wants.
Yeah.
You can't afford to let him go to another team. I don't know. The more I sit on that, the more it worries me.
Keep me up at night tonight. That will.
Yeah.
I will say a massive credit to Neil Harris today. Like I say, I think he made the right changes today, brought on the right players. Like I say, a couple of them enforced. Mackenzie, who went off injured, and someone else I'm trying to think.
Thunder.
Yeah, that's it.
As well.
Yeah, but I think the changes that we made were right.
Yeah, and I think a lot of apprehension from Gills fans with Harris comes from the fact that he seems reluctant to make changes. He can't win away. He's done it today.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter how you win, he's done it. And the changes that he made ultimately impacted the game. Yes, Tatonda was enforced, but Lewis Page came on, wins the penalty. Mackenzie was enforced, but Shea wins the penalty. And I think we actually win that from a Maka cross. Penalty. It comes from everyone that he's brought on comes in, and that change in momentum. So
that bringing on Chambers shifts Salkin to the back, you know.
Yeah, and again, Chambers was enforced, but he's got to make the right changes, and he done it today. And he
for sure.
You know what? Salford made us look better than we were, but he done the right things today. So.
He did, and obviously it was nice to see the fist bumps towards
back
the away
game.
fans.
It was a good feeling, 100%.
Definitely a nice touch of class, I think, from him. I know sometimes he's come out and said he's not going to do it for the sake of doing it, you know. So it was obviously nice to have that last game of the season, the away win. It's just topped it all off, really.
One, it was a good feel good factor, and the other bit that I absolutely loved was Conor Marston. Every celebration, everything, he's involved. He's Gills. He's staying. He's staying. He's Gills, 100%. So
QPR.
Exactly. I don't think he's got any chance of staying at QPR.
Yeah.
Regardless, which is a bit silly from them, to be honest, with their likelihood being that they're going to be in League One. I don't know if they're already confirmed as in League One yet, but they could be. He's a cracking player.
He is.
He's a cracking player. They'd be silly to let him go, but their loss is our gain. And if you believe the rumours, it's signed, and we're waiting to announce it. But rumours are rumours until it's confirmed by him or someone at the club. Let's
wait and see.
But he looked invested today.
The perfect end to the not so perfect season. But if that second half of the season's anything to go off, I've got no doubts that next year.
I'm glad you bring up the season, because we're going to have our season review out, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
When we get Sunday. It's pressure on you, that.
Yeah, I know.
So our season review is going to be this Sunday, and then the plan for pre-season is every Wednesday.
Yeah, 2 videos a week. You lucky lot.
Sunday. Yeah, we've got quite a few already recorded, quite a few in the pipeline that we're working on getting sorted.
Yeah.
I think the last word from me today I'm sorry to Mansfield. If Ollie Hawkins could score, he'd probably be in the playoffs right now. Because if he could score 3-0 that game easily. But alas, he couldn't today, and the Gills win. Come on,
Gills win.
gonna go home and just look confused all day because this isn't a feeling I've had at an away game in a while.
Don't know how to react. Yeah, hope you all enjoyed the game as well. We look forward to seeing you all across pre-season, and
we'll see you Sunday up the Gills.
Up the Gills.
Right.